Hey everyone, it's Zan, and today I'm going to talk about the trick called Ultra Hammer Early. Ultra Hammer Early is exclusive to the Japanese version of the game, and allows us to get the Ultra Hammer before Chapter 3. To do this, all we need is the partner Flurry. Here is the trick in real time. To break down what I just did, as usual, I'll be splitting it up into 3 parts. The first part is the Flurry slide. The second will be the seam movement. And the third will be at the chest. Start by going into paper mode and walking against the door. From here, walk down to the bottom of the door frame, unspin, and move left. Now we need to do tap jumps right to activate the door from as far left as possible. The Flurry slide is, in my opinion, the hardest part of this trick. It requires very precise button inputs. To do a Flurry slide, you have to press A to open a door exactly 4 frames after pressing X. When done correctly, Mario and Flurry will be blowing air, but moving to enter the room. In this state, you can press X again to activate Flurry's blow animation. This causes Mario's angle to change while entering the room. In the Japanese version, Mario will move up and then down on the Z axis. During the door opening animation, Mario is temporarily allowed to go through walls. While sliding around, we can actually get Mario clipped in the wall below the door to the inn. There's a lot that can go wrong with this slide, and the right button inputs can vary between people. I will explain the video using a total of 3 X presses, as this is what works for me. Others may use 4 or even 5. The first X press is an important one, and it has to be appropriately timed. Once the door opens, you have to wait around 1/3 of a second before pressing X. Once you press X, you now have to press the next set of X presses in a rhythm. I use 2 X presses, some use 3 or 4. The most important presses are the first and the last. It is extremely precise and comes down to muscle memory. To get this consistently, it's going to take a ton of practice. Mario can end up in 4 different areas depending on how you press your X's. If Mario ends up in the inn like nothing happened, your initial X press was a bit too late or way too early. If Mario ends up underneath the inn and inside the bar, your initial X press was a bit too early. If Mario ends up sliding off the seam and falls onto the ground, your rhythm was too fast, but your initial X press was good. If Mario ends up sliding into the corner of the inn, your initial X press was good, but your rhythm was too slow. My rhythm for 2 presses is as follows. 1, 2. Something critical to remember while attempting the Flurry slides is if you fall out of the inn 5 times, meaning if you Flurry slide and you fall off the seam and onto the ground, if you do that 5 times, you have to reset the room. You will notice the drops of water become more frequent as you fail. If you open the chest after falling out of the inn 5 times, your game will soft lock. So you need to reload the room if you fall off the seam 5 times. Once you are on the seam, things get even more precise. The first thing you need to check is, are you on the outside seam or the inside floor? To check this, go into paper mode. You should see Mario drop a little, and you should see landing dust. If you do not see these things, you need to inch left until you do. Once you know you are on the seam, you then have to move down to a very precise point. You can do this two ways. You can either use paper mode to inch down, or use tap jumps. If using paper mode, line up Mario's foot with the edge of the floor and unspin. I find tap jumps more reliable. You need to get Mario's foot in front of the floor. However, if you move down any more past that point, you will fall off. Once you have Mario's foot in front of the floor, you need to check to see if you are in the correct position. Using Flurry allows us to check Mario's position. Looking at Mario's overalls, you need to be able to see some of the pixels of the wall. You should see a curve. You need this curve to be visible. If this curve is not visible, you are too far down and need to move back up and try again. Once you have the curve and are in front of the floor, go into paper mode. We now need to walk directly right. If there is any other direction inputted other than right, it won't work. We can buffer a right press by opening the partner menu and holding right to make sure we are directly pressing right. From there, unpause and walk to the footboard of the bed. You'll notice we are not inside the inn, we are actually outside. This is the last section. From here, we need to drop down and then jump upright to get on top of the chest. From here, we can walk upright to the headboard of the bed. You should feel yourself in a bit of a corner. From here, we need to move down just enough to land beside the chest, as currently we are on top of it. This point is where Mario's shoes cross the bottom of the bed. Doing tap jumps is the best way to go about this. Now you just need to open the chest. To find the exclamation mark, just fidget around until you see it and press A. Do not commit to walking around, as you could easily fall off. The best way to find the hammer is to push upright, then turn left and press A. Well, that's Ultra Hammer early. Grabbing the Ultra Hammer now allows for faster Chapter 3, access to Far Outpost, and is needed for Palace Skip. It's a really cool and really hard trick. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to follow my social media in the description. I'll see all you beautiful people later.